subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Namaste, konnichiwa. Welcome to the thenupurtewarishow. And as usual, today also we have very special guest, and she is none other than Her Excellency DCS, Israeli Embassy in New Delhi, not in Tokyo. I'm used to with Tokyo. So Israeli Embassy in New Delhi, Her Excellency Roni Yetitia Klein. Thank you so much for joining us today, and it is our honor to have you, on our show. And definitely, we are going to have very normal questions, and where we can enjoy, you can enjoy answering them, and we can also enjoy, listening to your answers. So the first question, definitely, I'd like to ask, like, what are the similar things between India and Israel you found?
I think probably the main thing is the people. The people of both countries are very warm, very friendly. They are very proud of their respective countries and want you, when you come to visit, to love their country. And so I have fallen in love with India and with the people of India. And I think that when people come to Israel, we try to give them the same feeling that we hope that they will love our country.
Wonderful. So when you came to India first, anything did you find like shocking? Like, no, I did not expect it?
Well, this wasn't my first visit to India. I had been here 2 or 3 times before. So actually, there wasn't anything too shocking for me when I arrived. And I've seen that India is sort of progressing slowly, and it's becoming, I wouldn't say more Western, because there's nothing quite like India in the West, but things are a little bit less shocking than they were maybe 20 years ago when I came for the first time. It's a beautiful country. The people are very interesting here. The place is very interesting. Something that may have shocked me maybe 20 years ago, like seeing cows in the street. This time I was sort of used to it, and I knew that that's what I was in for. And there's actually less of them now.
So the 20 years ago, when you came to India, it was for the embassy work, or it was for your own thing?
No, it was for, I was working at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and I came here for a work visit.
Okay, wonderful. So how about the weather? Because I think it's very hot right now. Are you used to with it?
That is very, very difficult for me. You get, when you leave the air conditioning of my office, you go outside and you get a shock. It's very,
that
very
is the
difficult,
shocking thing, I guess.
Especially now that we're undergoing a heat wave here in India. It's not something, even for India, I think this is unusual. So it's very difficult.
Exactly. Even I think it's most of the countries it is happening, even in Tokyo these days, like from last 5 days, it is like too much hot. The temperature is rising like anything. We never experienced. This is my 19th year in Japan. We never experienced that like this year.
So I think this is part of climate change, which
global
warming, which is a subject that we're all very busy working on and trying to mitigate the effects of it. Israel and India are working together on this. I think most of our countries are working very hard to try to see what we can do in order to fight this.
Exactly, definitely. So definitely, according to you, how was this 30 years?
We have been celebrating 30 years of diplomatic relations between our countries this year, and it's really been very moving to see the importance that Indians give to this relationship, as well as Israelis. It's a relationship that has really grown in scope and in breadth and in visibility. I think when we talk to people who were involved in the relationship 30 years ago, they are surprised by how visible this relationship has become. 30 years ago, it was a little bit more under the radar. It was not such an important strategic relationship as it is today. It was mostly based on security issues, which India and Israel cooperated on. But today we are cooperating on so many more and new things. Water is a very important issue between our two countries. It's become a strategic matter. Agriculture, we will be inaugurating in this 30th year, we'll be inaugurating the 30th Center of Excellence for Agriculture in India. Innovation is a very important subject. Health, cooperation, academia, all these different subjects are new subjects that we have developed over the past 30 years, that 30 years ago were not an important part, and today they are so important and they're so visible. The number of interviews that we give, the number of places that we get to, I don't think my colleagues from 30 years ago would believe how much we're doing here today.
So this is like, I think within few years, this development happened. So what do you think that is this miracle, behind the secret between this miracle? Because I think, 30 years ago, what you said, the people really did not expect what is happening today between India and Israel. So what is the secret between this miracle, I would say?
There's a number of different things that have brought to bear here. First of all, the political will. Prime Minister Modi and Prime Ministers Netanyahu and then Bennett both saw it as something very important, this relationship, and that it should be developed and grown. But also the people-to-people aspect of it. The more we do together, the more people want to do together. Because they see that there is a place for growth and that there's so much that can be done. And so it's just this type of thing that grows organically because people want it to grow. People want to do more together.
It's very rightly you said, people really wanted to grow together, because I see this, that normal people, normal Indians, they're so emotional about Israel. And the same goes to Israel. During the COVID, I saw the support from Israel, India got, not only about the vaccine, about those oxygen, the people supported from Israel. So that is that emotions, I think emotional exchange is very much strong between two countries. And
yes.
And this happened within few years, though we are connected always. So,
Right.
but this happened within few years.
I really think one of the high points of my 2 years here has been those few months in the beginning of 2021 when India was undergoing the very serious second wave of COVID. And we were able to bring in several plane loads, 60 tons, if not more, of assistance, which went to hospitals, went to people, went to clinics all around the country. And it was such a gratifying feeling for me personally to be able to be a part of this assistance that we're giving to this great country, and to be a part of that partnership where we're working together, and the gratification of that I got from the appreciation of the way people express their appreciation. It was really just such a moving thing.
Exactly. And I could see that last year during the media that the Israeli, that everyone was, sending their, prayers to India. And today I see the Indian youth, they're very emotional about the Israel. Whenever I post something about Israel, I was posting about yoga thing, everything, that people are so overwhelmed, that seeing that, yeah, you are doing there also. So I feel that is India-Israel relation, not only, in Tel Aviv and New Delhi, it's like beyond that. Today it is beyond that. Wherever Israelis are or wherever Indians are, they're just getting connected.
Yes. Yes, they are.
So actually, whoever I have spoken, this is kind of my personal question. Most of them, they came to India as a backpacker. Did it happen to you as well?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
I didn't. I never had that opportunity. But I've been taking advantage of my time here as much as possible to travel around India, to see as much as possible of it. And my husband and I have promised each other that we will come back to India to visit as tourists, because there is so much still left to see, and we've so enjoyed our time here that we really want to come back.
Definitely you should come back. Yeah. So though we have spoken a lot about these two countries, but still I would like to ask you, like, what are the things that you think that India can learn from Israel and Israel can learn from India?
So maybe a little bit of opposites. In Israel, one of the things that I think sort of characterizes our startup nation is that we're always questioning. We're always, we're always looking for another way. We're always trying to find a new solution for a problem. So maybe that's something that Indians can learn from Israelis. But on that things, sometimes you just have to be able to accept what's happening and to be able to go forward with that. And that's something that I've learned from my Indian friends. So I think these are two opposites, but we can somehow meet in the middle and learn from each other.
Okay, so anything like the other day I was having dinner with my Israeli friend, and he was saying that there is no such food as Israeli, because Israeli food, because we are scattered around the world and the food came from different parts of world. But still, I would like to say, like, what is the best food you would like to recommend to everyone, our viewers, that they can go and try? Because we find I have got a lot of complaints that not many Israeli restaurants, even in Tokyo, even in Delhi also, I have got those complaints. So, but still, your suggestion, your recommendation would be highly appreciated, so viewers can go to those restaurants and can eat.
Well, your friend is correct in that there are so many different people in Israel, and they all bring their various styles of cooking. We even have good sushi in Israel. Unfortunately, there aren't too many Indian restaurants. There's a couple, but not enough for those of us who love Indian food. I think what probably the most important thing about Israeli food is that they use fresh ingredients. Fresh vegetables are a very important part of it. The Israeli salad is everywhere. Those fresh ingredients are sort of the major part of Israeli food, and that's probably the main thing. No matter what kind of cooking it is, they're using the very freshest tomatoes, the very freshest peppers, cucumbers. All these things are I think the main characteristic.
Very fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, the main characteristic of Israeli food.
So would you like to give us some names so viewers can go and try those dishes?
Well, just a green salad is something that could be wonderful. Falafel is sort of the ubiquitous street food that everybody loves. Everyone has their own favorite falafel stand in their hometown, and no other falafel anywhere compares to that. The same with hummus, which is the chickpea paste, which again, if it's made fresh, there's nothing like it. The stuff that you buy in a box is not the same as freshly made hummus. But there's so many different things. When you go to the Sea of Galilee, fresh fish, fresh caught from the lake is wonderful. Wherever you're traveling in Israel, they have fresh cheeses, which are made, like from fresh goat milk or sheep milk or cow milk, whatever. It's just a matter of being able to find that wonderful local fresh food that.
Great. It is. I think, the viewers, I'm sure that they will visit Israel and whatever you said, and I think they're going to find those food wherever they go. So we can promote the food also, because Israeli food, as I said, Israeli food, not really that much easily available, not even in Tokyo, only like 1 or 2 restaurants are there. So it is, I think I'd like to recommend our viewers to go visit Israel and just experience the real authentic Israeli food. Yeah. So the next question would be like, what is the most, important thing that attract about India? Like, what do you get attracted to India? Like, what is the thing that?
What I'm most attracted to India?
So attract you about India.
It's so hard to decide. I'm an amateur photographer. I love photography, and
wow.
Wherever I go, I'm always clicking pictures because there's so much that catches the eye, and so many wonderful pictures that just come out of everywhere. The people and the architecture and everything. It's very hard to say
one thing.
One thing that attracted me. I think that's one of the things that I loved about being here, is being able to click so many pictures, and then I can go back and look at them and maybe display them someday, just because there's a beautiful picture no matter where I look.
Wow, that's really, through your lens also, you're watching India, you're seeing India, so you're capturing those moments as well. That's really wonderful. So this is again my personal question, that because I've never been to Israel, I would like to go to, and I'm sure that there are many viewers they would like to visit too. So what? Yeah, they have to. Yes, I appeal to everyone. Please do go to Israel, because we have a lot to learn from that. As you said, the startup thing. I heard from my Israeli friend also the same thing, that the startup is really the way in Israel is happening, a lot to learn from there. So, but I'd like to request your recommendation, like what, if someone is visiting Israel, so what actually we should experience, like what would you like to recommend? Which places, even if you can give us the place's name?
Oh, so first and foremost is Jerusalem. Jerusalem has been the capital of the Jewish people for 3,000 years, and it's a beautiful spiritual place where really people can get lost in and really appreciate it and love it. And it's not just for the Jewish people either. It's a very important place for the 3 monotheistic religions, but also I think for other people. I think Hindus and Buddhists and people of all religions and none can really appreciate the place, feel its spirituality, feel its special light. There's really so much to be experienced there. So that would be the first place. But there's also a lot of other interesting places in Israel. Tel Aviv is also one of my favorite cities in the world. The nightlife there, the day life there, walking along the beach, going shopping and experiencing the cafes and restaurants. There's just so much to do there, and the people, it's such a young vibe there. The people there just, enjoy walking out and enjoying the good weather, the beach, the city. It's architecturally interesting because in the early 1900s, it was built in the Bauhaus style, which is a very interesting form of architecture. And so there's a lot to see and experience there. And then there's so many other places in Israel. One of my favorites is the Arava Desert, which is going towards the south, towards Eilat, which is sort of resort town, but the Arava Desert on the way down there is just very beautiful and peaceful and sparsely populated. So if you want to get away from it all, that's a wonderful place to do that. There, up in the north, there is beautiful nature, the Sea of Galilee, forests, mountains. There's really so much to see and experience in Israel. I encourage everyone to go and spend even a couple of weeks there to get to know everything.
Wonderful. I'm sure that after this and after watching what you said, this show, definitely many of viewers, they are going to go to Israel, I'm sure about it. And actually, this is when you were talking and you were holding such an important position in foreign ministry. And even I see on Twitter that defense, the women, girls, they're joining like anything in Israel. So is it the women empowerment? Like, how Israeli sees women empowerment? How it is happening in Israel?
So it's something that's very important to a lot of Israelis, and we have seen women getting into more and more positions of influence and decision making. It's something we still have a way to go, as a lot of places around the world do, but it's something that's very important. Close to home, I can say that within the foreign ministry, we have a very feminist-minded foreign minister who has placed a lot of importance on advancing women within the foreign service. And so I have been appointed ambassador to the Ivory Coast. I'm going there in a couple of months. A lot of other women have been advanced recently. We have a woman who is now head of the entire political and multilateral section of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which is the highest position attained by a woman in the MFA. We are seeing more and more women as ministers within the Israeli government. We still haven't achieved 50%. But there are more women as members of the Knesset, of our parliament. And so it's something that is very important to many Israelis, and women are indeed attaining high positions more and more.
That's really amazing. I think this is that Israel can inspire rest of the world, that the way they are promoting their women. I think, yeah, Israel is an inspiration for rest of the world, and even for us also, India, and we can learn that also from, though we have many definitely women in our foreign ministry everywhere, but still I think we need to develop that. Still we are not that close yet. So we have to have the confidence.
I have met some very impressive women here, I have to say.
Yes, there are, of course, indeed there are. But I think still we need to work on that. We need to work, because India is a big country, and still I think we have a little bit self-confidence. The women, we ourselves think we are not capable of doing that. That is the most important thing, I think.
That's a problem that we have, that all of us as women have to work on. Sometimes, I think there's something called imposter syndrome that all of us have a little bit of, that we don't believe in ourselves. And I think it's something that's very important for all of us to work on. And actually, we've been doing a couple of programs about that as well, from the embassy, working with Indian women and mentoring programs and things like that.
Wow, that's amazing. And if there is any chance, definitely I would like to join too, if I'm in Delhi. So definitely. So my last question is going to be, what do you think, like how we can improve more people-to-people contact between Israel and India?
Well, I mean, I think it's something that we're working on all the time. We work on various programs that are people to people, that we bring people from Israel. We would love, now that COVID is starting to die down and hopefully we'll be able to start traveling more normally again, we would like to bring more delegations to Israel, and maybe some Israeli delegations to India. Tourism has a large part of it. All the different things that we all love to do anyway, we need to do more of it, especially delegations. I've always been a big believer in that delegations, bringing them to Israel and really showing them the highlights of Israel, Israeli society.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope that our relation grows like, never before, and, grows. It just, we help each other to grow as well, the people to people contact also, normal people also. So it was really, my immense pleasure to have you on my show. And I personally, I learned so many things from you. So, and,
Thank you so
I
much for
love to
having me.
learn such a successful woman like you. And I would love to take all those points, and I like to apply in my life as well. Thank you so much for
Thank you so
joining,
much for having me.
and namaste and
Namaste.
salam,
Namaste and shalom.
namaste and salam.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.